Hello everyone and welcome back. So today I'm going to be doing another snow globe tumbler, this time with a dome lid. And so I got this cup from Stainless Steel Depot. I do have to be honest, this is the body of the cup is the Mickey Mouse cup, and then the lid is from the dome cup. I didn't like the way that the actual cup from the dome cup snow globed, and so I knew the Mickey Mouse one worked pretty well, so I just switched them out. So I'm just gonna prep my cup just by wiping it down with alcohol. I don't do anything special. You guys asked me a lot of questions about prep. Like literally, I don't sand or anything. Most of the time, I'm just wiping them down with alcohol to make sure that there is no residue, like or oil or anything on them. And so this is a wax picker tool. Oh, you guys, I definitely forgot to mention these are my own rhinestones. So I decided to launch my rhinestone jelly line, and so yeah, that's what I'm going to be using in the video. And I also have rhinestone picker tools. Everything is $5, so very good price point. Don't let the people on Amazon keep price gouging y'all. Come on over here and let me help y'all out. This is it's a rolling tray, admittedly, that I made. I am not a smoker. I do work in defense, so I cannot do any kind of federally illegal drugs. But I don't judge those who do. I do understand that people use them for medical reasons, recreational reasons, and frankly, I don't care. But yeah, just to address that elephant. And the glue I'm going to be using is the Liquid Fusion. This is the glue that I recommend. I've tried E6000. I just don't like it. This is the glue that I recommend. And so I'm just going to show you guys doming a little bit of this cup. And so I don't want this. The video is still kind of long. I'm sorry. I'm trying to make them. Y'all let me know, like, what is like the ideal video length that you guys want? And that's what I'm going to try to start doing. If you're one of those people that like longer videos, I'm thinking about like making like a platform where I have like the full tutorials and I'm like breaking everything down step by step. So let me guys let you guys let me know what you want to see. So I can give y'all what y'all want. You know, I show y'all what I like. But definitely want to show you guys what y'all want to see. So let me know and I will make that happen. But yeah, I'd had determined, I'm like, ooh, this rolling tray is gonna be perfect for these rhinestones. And so I'm actually in the process of making one for myself to use for rhinestones, but this one I had just made for the house. And so yeah, we have it here. And that glitter is actually a new glitter. It's called Steel City, you know, paying homage to my Pittsburgh childhood, which that one will be coming out next week. So look out for that if you're interested in that color. If you want something deeper that's out right now, Black to the Future is what you're going to want to aim for. And so, yeah, I'm just showing you guys how I lay down this line. And so I'm just going to go ahead and keep going. Stoning is way easier than glittering. Like, I'm sorry. I think that's why I fell in love with it. And I didn't like kind of want to come on here and tell you guys, like, after I made that very first cup, I fell head over heels in love with rhinestoning anything and everything I could. It's right up there for me with glitter. So yeah, I'm like, I'm gonna just launch my own line because yeah, why not? So yeah, just watch me do this. And so the good thing is about this liquid fusion glue is like it sets up quick, but not so quick that you don't have time to manipulate the stones. And so what I like to do is I like to lay my line down, like maybe like 10 or 12, and then like you see me doing right now, I'm going back and I'm just lining them up with that other side. I'm making sure everything's even, making sure everything's nice and pushed into the glitter. And that very first cup you guys saw me do where I put period 6 on it, I drank out of that cup every single day and washed that cup every single day. And to this day, I have not lost a stone off of that cup. So I highly recommend the Liquid Fusion. Yeah, and so and like the thing about rhinestoning, like it can be like when you do like letters and everything, it could be like kind of like nerve wracking, but like just laying them on there is very relaxing. Like I will literally put my feet in my foot tub and sit there and rhinestone something. Like it's just a relaxing activity for me. And it was at this point that I realized when you see I'm having trouble getting that last rhinestone in, is that I wanted to use SS16 stones. I actually use SS20 stones, but it was whatever. It was cool. I'm rocking with it. And so we have 8 colors of jelly stones right now, and they do come in sizes SS16, which is a 4 millimeter, and then SS20, which is a 5 millimeter. So yeah, y'all see I had that little gap. If I would have did SS16, I probably wouldn't have had that gap. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish doming the whole doming. I'm going to finish rhinestoning, because that's not the definition of doming. I'm going to finish rhinestoning the whole lid, and then I'm going to come back in and fill in. I think I ended up having like 3 spaces where I had to drop in SS16 stone. And so this, like many other times, this is a tapered surface. And so, of course, it's that dome shape. So I'm going to try to do, and I've determined that we are definitely going to call it windows, because we still couldn't come to an agreement as a group, y'all, on whether it was bricklaying or y'all called it something else. The beehive, something. But since now that I have period 6 rhinestones, now we're going to just call it the windows method. So yeah, so I'm going to try to do the windows method pretty much where I'm using like the ends essentially for the new people, and I'm putting the stone in between that. So think about if you're ever standing in windows on the playground, how I explained it last time, and how you can see everyone through their respective window. And so that's what you see me doing. Admittedly, it does not work the whole entire way up the cup, because again, we're dealing with something that's curving, but it looks the best if you try to aim for this as much as possible. And it also helps you keep your lines something like pretty straight, to the point that you won't have like a serious mismatch when you get around to the other side of the cup if you try to just use the top and the middles of those stones as your guidance. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm doing, again, what we're now going to call the windows method on the cup. So yeah, nice and fun. I hope you guys enjoy the zoom in of it all. So I tried to make sure I was zoomed in camera. And it's so hard. Sometimes y'all be getting mad at me because I be out of frame, and I don't be realizing I be out of frame. But I'm here talking y'all through it. So like, give me just a little bit of credit for that. But yeah, I be trying to look up to make sure that I'm in frame. So that's how it looks. And I'm going to finish the whole thing. And that's how it looks. All in all, this took me maybe about 3 hours. I move very slow. There are people out there I know who move way faster than me. But, you know, I be out here taking my time, doing my thing, I just enjoy the process. So it's no rush for me. So just a little zoom in. And this is the area where I had 3 stones I had to put in that were SS16, and you can't tell where they are. But they're right there where that's why I held it like that. Alrighty, so let's move on to the snow globing portion of the program. And so I'm using, I don't know what size drill bit. It's 1/4 of an inch or less. And so I do like a pulsing move while applying downward pressure in order to make the holes. I'm a little more confident now that I've done like 12, maybe not that many, maybe like 6, maybe like 8-ish. And so yeah, I'm a lot more confident now. And the confidence comes with repetition when it comes to this. But like, you feel like you're like, if you put too much pressure, you see like my drill bit start acting funny. I didn't know what was wrong with it. But right after this, it's like it needed one more, and then like I broke through. And you just have to be careful, because you don't want to pierce that double wall that's on the inside of the cup. And so y'all remember in the last video how once I started filling up the cup with liquid, the bottom started leaking. And so I had actually seen something online that said that if you leave it's a thing with like the air in the cup. And so when you reverse that direction of the air, aka when you have it sitting up versus when you flip it over and have it sitting down, now all of a sudden there's the air is shifted from the top and it's pushing down, therefore pushing it out the holes. So the way you fix that is that you actually leave the cup, and sorry, I'm drilling another hole, and then I'm taking my needle nose pliers and I'm breaking that space between them so I can have a bigger hole. But how you fix that is that you let your cup sit out upside down for a few days in order to get the air in the double wall going in the opposite direction. And I'm like, I'm an engineer, but that's more sciencey, but that makes sense for what I know. That seems like that makes sense. And so that's what I did. I left this cup upside down for about a week, and you can see it's not leaking. Sorry, y'all. It just started storming out. So all that water you see that's on there, that's because I just had knocked over where I had the water in the little measuring cup. I hope y'all can't hear that weather. It's actually hailing. Welcome to Colorado. And so, yeah, I was cool after that. I let it sit down there for about 10 minutes. You see, I'm going to just shake it up. Because again, if it's an air thing, then that's maybe what it is. And so, yeah, you can see that napkin is clean. So let's go and do the glitter. This is my favorite from the Summer Sweets collection. That's the macaron glitter. Yes, there's a difference between macaron and macaroon. This is macaron. So yeah, and so I'm just gonna dump a bunch of glitter. I wanted this one to be really glittery. Like I wanted there to be glitter like on the top and the bottom. And so I'm putting a bunch of glitter in here. And so, yeah, I do it two different ways. You can kind of see that I'll either push it through the hole with my weeding tool, or sometimes I'll just dump a bunch on top and I'll just hit the side of the cup and get it to sink to the bottom. I do a combination of both. It kind of just depends. Yeah, but both ways works. There's some people that like to use a funnel. That might be quicker, but maybe I guess I probably could invest in a funnel now, especially if I want to make more of these. So, but I don't have one right now. And so you can see I put a crap ton of glitter in there. And so I'm like, yes, a lot. And so what I'm doing a 50-50 mix of vegetable glycerin that I will leave a link to below, and then just tap water from the sink. And so at first I had mixed up like a half a cup of water and I was going to do a half a cup of glycerin. I said, that is way too much. And so the good thing is how I squeezed it in there, I squeezed it in a straight line. And so because the glycerin weighs more than the water, it went straight to the bottom of the measuring cup. And so what I'm going to do is, I was going to go in there and just try to dip it out and pull it out. I said, nope, that's going to mix it, defeating the purpose of what I'm trying to do. And so I'm going to take this syringe that I was going to use, that I'm still going to use to fill up the cup, and I'm going to just siphon a quarter of a cup of water off the top. And so in case you ever do that and you mix up a bunch because you're only like making like 1 cup or something, yeah, just make sure you're being diligent in how you're doing like these little things you probably don't think about, because you probably would like circle it around while you're pouring it in there, but the weirdo in me, I poured it down in a straight line, and the good thing is, like I said, it's like oil and water. So the oil fell straight to the bottom, so I was able to siphon the extra water that I didn't want off the top to get my 50-50 mix. So that's how I did that. And I wanted to leave this in because I didn't want to give you guys a false impression that like I mixed up a bunch, because that's not what happened. And so once the total reading was back down to a half a cup, then I moved on. So what I do is I just mix it with a plastic spoon, and you're just going to want to mix it until it's completely clear. And then once it goes back clear, you know you are ready to move on. Alrighty, so I'm gonna set it down on a napkin, and like I said, I'm gonna use this syringe, and I got this syringe on Amazon also. I'll leave a link to them below. So yeah, I'm just gonna use this syringe, and I'm just doing a little bit at a time, and I'm just gonna fill them up. So it's pretty straightforward, pretty plain and simple. You know, at this point, it's like the home stretch. Is like there isn't much really that should be going wrong at this point. Sometimes you'd be like, with my luck, something is probably going to go wrong. But I was happy to report that I was able to fill this thing up with no problems. I feel like all my problems had happened like before this, like with the mixing of the water and the glycerin and all that. So, yeah. So you see, I was getting a little more confident, and I was doing bigger syringes of the mixture. I'm like, oh, because this is just going too well. Let's see how far I can push it before it goes wrong. And so at this point, what I like to do is just take a paper towel, fold it up, kind of get it like kind of bulky. And you want to start, and you see I just knocked over that water. So don't mind that, the cup is not leaking. What I like to do is very vigorously shake the cup and break up all that glitter that's settled down at the bottom, because that glitter has air in it. And so you're going to want to fill those air pockets with the water and glycerin mixture. And the only way to do that is to shake up the cup and see how much you need left. So you see all that, how it looked full when we just flipped it over, but right there it wasn't. And so now we can go back and keep going. And sometimes, like when I do this, I have to move that because the glitter will settle at the bottom right there, making it hard to put more of the mixture in. So you just have to move it out your way. And I use my weeding tool to do that. So yeah, that's what I'm doing right there. It's just like a little, some glitter that got wet, and now it's like sticking together right there at the hole. We don't want that. So just use your weeding tool to keep clearing out the space so you can put as much of the liquid mixture in there as possible. So yeah, like you see how like it looked full before we shook it up, and like how now it looks half empty. That's why it is vital. And I learned this through trial and error, but it's just vital to make sure you're shaking it so hard and you're getting so much of that liquid mixture in the cup and shaking it up and breaking up that glitter so you can get the best snow globe possible, and so you don't have like a big gap at the top of your cup when you flip it over, especially after you seal it, because that sucks and that's happened to me before. So don't want it to happen to you guys. So here I go again, just shaking it up, taking a look, seeing how much I got left, using my weeding tool, clearing out the space, and then going back in with more of the liquid mixture. And I just do that until I'm satisfied with how everything looks and moves when I flip it over. Now, if you want like a bunch of movement, more water than glycerin. If you want it very slow and kind of to stay still, more glycerin than water. So how do we finish this bad boy off? Once you're all satisfied with that, you're gonna need a LED UV lamp. This is a Melody Susie lamp. It's actually the nail lamp that I use for personal use for my nails here at the house. And then you're also going to need some UV resin. So this is the Less Resin UV resin. I really love this resin, like multiple bottles purchased and used. And so I don't know if other people do it like this, but what I like to do is turn on the lamp, hold it there, and just go ahead and do a quick plug on that hole. And so instead of like, I know some people like cover it first and do all these other things, but for me, I found I get the best seal when I go ahead and plug the hole and then do like my finishing plugging, covering, filling of it all. So it's really tricky to do. It's not easy to do whatsoever, but it's something that, like I said, I feel gives you the best results. And so after I do all that, I like to just come back in with, well, I'm coming in with a little extra just to make sure I fill that plug. I'm gonna say, I thought my editing was off really quick. I'm like, wait, that's not what I do next. But it's okay. So apparently what I did was I added a little bit extra. The next thing that I like to do is I like to take some transfer tape and cover the area where the hole that I drilled in and that I just plugged with the UV resin. And so the good thing, and I'm just using X-Acto knife to just clean up the edges to make sure it's laying flat and flush. So yeah, and I'm just using my weeding tool to just keep laying it nice and flat. So the good thing is about the double wall tumbler, you see there's like a little, what looks like a little lip. And so the inner part is usually dipped down. And so I like to, at this point, I like to use that UV resin and just go and fill in that whole area, which in turn makes the whole cup flush. On the bottom, so it still lays even and nice and flat on your countertop, but it creates like a super seal on your cup. You have no leakage or anything like that, and it's beautiful and amazing. And again, I'm just making sure that transfer tape is just sticking down. We don't want anything lifting, because once we zap this bad boy, we're going to be locked in. All right, so this is the final product. I just took a little vinyl, and I'll leave a link to the vinyl, and I just cut it, and this is how it looks. You guys, once again, I am in love. It's beautiful to see like your glitter, your rhinestones, all on one cup looking glorious in the sun. So yeah, so if you like these kind of videos, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Please don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Period6Designs. You can follow me on TikTok at Period6Glitter. You can also check out my website, period6glitter.com, where you can find a beautiful selection of glitter and jelly rhinestones. And I will see you guys in the next one.